Hello and welcome to another video. Today is a study session. I figured that I would just go ahead and do study sessions on Thursday, and this is going to be the third one. And so today we're doing shoes. I know last week I said I was going to do shoes and I didn't do shoes, but I'm following through this week, baby. Okay, I'm not a liar, I'm just a procrastinator. So we're doing shoes today. So I did this study a little bit differently than I normally do studies. Usually I just draw the picture of that and it takes as long as it takes. But for these, I was like, they're just shoes. So I didn't want to spend like 10 minutes drawing one shoe. And then I only draw like two shoes for you guys because, like I said, I do these videos real time. And I didn't just want to draw two shoes. So I decided to limit myself to 2 minutes to draw a shoe, right? Because I was like, they're just shoes. And also, I don't want to sit here and try and draw perfect shoes right off the bat. I don't know how to draw shoes. Obviously, right? You guys have seen my art. You know I don't know how to draw shoes. So I'm just, instead of trying to just draw a perfect shoe right off the gate, I just decided that I was just gonna shake out all of the bad drawings of shoes that I have inside of me, okay? So pretty much all of these drawings of shoes are not very good. I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, just because they don't need to be perfect. It is just practice, and I know I'm not great at drawing shoes, but the point of these studies is not to draw the most perfect shoe on the first try. It's more to familiarize myself with the shapes of shoes and the way they look, the way the lines go. So it's okay that they're not perfect and it's okay that they're not very good. It's just for me to try to figure it out because I don't draw shoes, so I don't have the opportunity to figure out what they actually look like. And I don't really look at shoes too often. I'm not one of those people who is interested in shoes. It's not one of my hyperfixations. So I don't really understand what the basic layout of a shoe is, right? So I think I know what a shoe looks like. And that's for a lot of people, right? People think they know what something looks like until they have to draw it. And then you compare it to like the reference and you're like, wow, I actually left out a lot of stuff that I don't actually realize goes into either a shoe or something else, right? So the whole point of this is just for me to start building up my visual library a little bit more so that way I can just get a little bit better at drawing shoes. Sorry if my voice is sounding weird. I'm having really bad allergies, so I do sound a little bit stuffy and I keep having to pause the recording so that way I could sneeze. This is my bad. Hopefully it'll clear out in a second. But back to the shoes. So since I am drawing these not very slowly, but very quickly, I am not going to be putting up the reference for you guys. I'm so sorry. I know that some of you guys like to draw along with me and stuff like that, but I just was like, that's like 10 or pictures, and then they're gonna be popping up very fast. And so I'm like, ugh, I'm not sure. But if I were you guys, I would just go ahead and find some references and try to do them as timed studies. Because like I said, time studies are just supposed to help you try to figure out the shapes as best as you can without worrying about little tiny details. And so I did put these on timers for 2 minutes, but they were a little bit longer than 2 minutes just because I was giving myself buffer time because I would have to set the timer and then I have to go run back to my reference. And so I put a little bit of a buffer, but I think I put too much of a buffer. I put like it was 2 minutes and 20 seconds, but it was not taking me 20 seconds to flip between the timer and my reference. It was only taking me like upwards of 5 seconds. So these are actually more like 2 minutes and 15 seconds. But that's okay. It's not that much more time. And there are some times where I do just sit there and I'm like, well, I drew the shoe and I don't think there's any way I could like improve on it. And so I don't spend all of the time on some of them. Some of them I finish pretty quickly, and then I'm like, I try to go back and add something because I'm like, I have time left. Like, I shouldn't give up just because I feel like the shoe is done. Doesn't mean that I should at least try to add a little bit more detail just because I have the time. Like, I'm not stopping and adding detail to something after the timer is up, but if the timer's still going, I should try to improve it, right? So, since I did have the timer going, if you do see me jump in between these, it's because I was getting scared by the timer. I was getting into some of the drawings, so you might see me like jump a little bit, but that's just the reason why. Sorry if I'm harping on some of the same points in this video. It's just I'm really trying to convince myself as much as I am trying to offer you guys encouragement because, like I said, I don't feel like these drawings came out very good, but I just have to remember that this is the first step in a phase where I could get better at drawing shoes. Like, these are the worst drawings of shoes I'm gonna make, right? So I just have to keep reminding myself that because as I keep drawing them, I'll start to get better and better. So that's just what I'm trying to remind myself and keep myself motivated because it's not say it does make me upset when I make bad art sometimes, right? It's gonna make you upset. We try to like rise above it and be like, it's okay, it's just practice, but it still can make you upset sometimes. So I'm trying to get better at not letting that make me upset. But okay, some of these drawings of shoes actually didn't turn out too bad. The ones I'm working on right now, not very good. But as I'm working on these a little bit more, the ones towards the end of the session do turn out a little bit better. So even just doing these 10 little drawings, I got slightly better at drawing shoes. So that's encouraging, you guys. When it came to picking reference for which shoes I wanted to draw, at first I just picked random shoes. So for the very first one, you can see it's like a high heel thing. I was just like, sure, whatever, it's fine. And then I was scrolling through Pinterest trying to find reference, and then I realized that I get to pick whichever shoes I want to draw, right? I don't have to learn how to draw every kind of shoe there is. Sure, that would make you a better artist and you can make draw more variety of things. But since I'm just learning how to draw shoes, I figured since it's my sketchbook and I'm the one who's learning, I get to focus on what kind of shoes I want to draw, right? So I decided that I was gonna draw chunky shoes. I really love chunky shoes. Shoes with a thick sole. I just really like that. I really like that look. I really like that aesthetic. My favorite pair of shoes currently at the moment are these orange creamsicle Nikes that have this really thick sole, and I just really appreciate that aesthetic, right? And so since I decided that I was gonna do shoe studies, I was like, I can draw whatever shoes I want. And so I was picking references with a really chunky shoe because I was like, if I'm gonna be drawing shoes anyway, I want them to be shoes that I like to look at, and also shoes that I, find fun to draw. I really like a chunky shoe look. I don't really, I only wear the one pair because I'm not, like I said, I'm not really a shoe person, but what I do like about shoes is the really thick sole. So even if it's something you're not really interested in, you can find something that you like and apply it to your art and apply it to your stylization. So when I'm going to be drawing shoes in the future, I know that sure, some people are going to have to wear loafers and I can learn to draw a pair of loafers, but majority of the time I'm probably going to draw somebody in a chunky shoe. Like my OC for the Mafia family, the girl, I did come up with a name for her, by the way. Her name is now Kira, officially. The guy still has no name, unfortunately, but the girl, her name is going to be Kira. At least for now. No last name, but first name Kira. So she wears a pair of combat boots, right? And I was already picking boots because I like the chunky shoe look. And now if I learn how to draw chunky shoes, I can draw her in our big chunky boots, okay? I just really like that. And so since I'm an artist, I get to do that. I get to do whatever I want, you guys. And you just have to remember, you get to choose what you want to draw. Okay, maybe you want to get like a really well-rounded art education and you want to draw whatever you want to, and you want to draw everything. That's cool. Start with the things that you like, aesthetics you like, things you like to draw. If you like to draw animals, draw animals. If you specifically like to draw a little, like maybe you like chinchillas, learn how to draw chinchillas. Spend a couple of months, or spend a month or a couple of weeks learning how to draw chinchillas until you're like really satisfied with the way you draw chinchillas. And then you can move on to the next animal you really like to draw, right? So you don't have to do everything all at once. And honestly, I probably encourage you not to try to do everything all at once. I would try to encourage you to do like more focused stuff. So just being like, I want to learn how to draw all kinds of shoes, right? That might be a little bit overwhelming because as you can see, even through these 4 drawings I've already done, these shoes all look pretty different. Like between each other, right? They're even though like the criteria I was choosing was chunky shoe, they're all like high heel and they're high top versus low top shoe. They're gonna be different and they're gonna have different shapes, and that's okay. But if you're just gonna try to draw all kinds of shoes or all kinds of animals, there might be some overlap, but it would be a little bit easier, I think, to focus on one thing at a time, get good at it, and then you can move on to other stuff, and you can let the stuff that you learn from your focus stuff move on to a more general, like broad application. You know what I mean? So for me, my general focus for now is going to be learning how to draw chunky shoes, just because I feel like it would be the most fun and the most entertaining to me, so that way I don't burn out and lose focus. Because burning out and losing focus is probably the thing that I most don't want to do. I'm actually starting to build up a little bit of momentum, and I'm starting to have a lot of fun drawing. I didn't used to have a lot of fun drawing. For a really long time, I was in burnout just because I don't know, I was drawing finished pieces all the time and I wasn't really doing anything. Well, it was not that it was not creative. The drawings were creative or as creative as I thought that I would be able to make them at the time, but I wasn't really having fun. Like sometimes I would have a little bit of fun, but I feel like recently in the last couple of weeks I've been having a lot of fun doing drawing. I think it's just because I've been pushing myself to learn some things. I feel like I've been stagnant for a really long time, which is okay. Some people don't want to learn how to draw anything better. They just like to do it as a little bit of a hobby, and they're like, it's just my style. I like the way that it looks. I'm not interested in improving right now. But the problem is, I've always been interested in improving, but I was never letting myself improve or pushing myself to improve. I was staying in my comfort zone and not trying new things just because I was really held back by my fear of making ugly drawings. And I know I talk about this a lot, but it's just because it weighs on my mind a lot, and I really just wanted to get better at things, but I was holding myself back a lot. And so now that I have my YouTube channel, I really am not holding myself back too much. And I know I am making videos and I'm posting them for you guys, but it's only because I was going to be doing this anyway. This year, I was really focused on trying to do art improvement. I really want to do art improvement. That was my goal last year and I didn't do it. But this year I was like, I'm going to do this YouTube channel so that way people can hold me accountable so that way I can actually get better at things. And it's actually been a lot of fun for me. It's only month 3 so far, but I actually have been having a lot of fun. Even if the videos don't get like super tons of views, the fact that they get any views makes me happy. So I've just been trying to focus on improving my art a lot. And I do think I've gotten a little bit better since I've started this. And I've gotten a little bit better at following through. I'm only posting on YouTube. I'm not posting anywhere else. I've posted like maybe 2 things on my Instagram since the year began, but that's just because I'm trying to focus on this. And so I haven't been posting on my Instagram, but I've been drawing a lot more than I used to when I was posting on Instagram. Like I would draw something every day for a while and just make it a reel, but I wasn't having fun. I was kind of dreading it, and the art was not very good. And so I do post every day on here, but my drawing sessions are pretty much limited to the 2 days that I'm off, and the rest of the art that I do is just for me. So I do draw every day, but I don't post all of the art that I draw to you guys. In fact, I actually post probably like, I don't know, like 20% of the art I do to you guys. Like, it was this page this week, the one that we're looking at right now, and then the drawing from yesterday, and then a drawing of the mafia couple on Tuesday or whatever. So that's like only 3 pages of art, really. And I do like small little doodles in my sketchbook every day when I'm like sitting in my car while I wait to go into my job. And so you guys don't really see all of my art. And I think that's actually a good thing. And I think that's actually what helped me feel better about my art, because not all of your drawing should be for other people. And when I say that, I don't mean that you shouldn't draw with the intention of posting it and showing it to people. That's not what I mean. You can draw with the intention of showing it to other people, or everything you draw you can show to other people if that's what you want, but you shouldn't be drawing for others. You should be pretty much drawing for yourself. I mean, unless you have like a job in art or whatever. I mean, obviously you're gonna have to draw for other people, but you get really burnt out on drawing things or trying to keep up with trends and stuff like I was trying to do, just because I feel like I had to make that art. I didn't want to make it, if that makes sense. So I don't like really posting reels. I posted all of those reels because I wanted to do those drawings, but I don't really like filming the process. I know this is a YouTube channel, so you guys are seeing me film the process, but I don't really mind it. Like I said, I don't really mind these YouTube videos just because they're just drawing sessions I do anyway. So this is the part that I really don't like is editing, but we're not gonna harp about that. But yeah, so all of that to say that basically, I know I get down on myself sometimes in these videos, but honestly, I'm pretty much in the best place I've ever felt with my art in the last like 2 to 3 years. I've been kind of stagnant and stuck for a while, and I've actually been feeling a little bit better about myself, about my art lately. So even if you're like, dang, she's negative, I am a little bit negative, but I've been worse in the past. So this is actually an improvement. Anyway, onto these shoes. This is actually one of the drawings of the shoes that I think turned out pretty well. Even though when I looked up this reference, I was like, these shoes are so fucking ugly. And I do really think that they are really super ugly. They're like these boots. So they're rain boots, and they have this cow print pattern with the most garish green color. It's actually, sometimes you guys can like see the color of my shirt in my drawings. My arm pops out. There's actually several different shirts I have that are in the same color, just coincidentally. I didn't even buy these, but just coincidentally, they're all the same color. And so the shoes were that color, but not only were they that color, they were also fuzzy. I did not draw the texture on these shoes because it really grossed me out. Just the idea of having rain boots and they're fuzzy, and then you're out in the rain, and then your boots are wet, and it's like wet hair consistency. I was like, that is disgusting. maybe they're like more fashion boots than they are like workman's boots that you wear. But why would you want shoes that are fuzzy? And I don't mean like suede, I mean like actual hair. I mean, obviously it's not real hair, but it's like fur on the shoes. I was like, ew, that's so gross. But the drawing actually came out really well. So even though the shoes are really ugly, the drawing is not bad, which is good, you know. So like I said, I'm already starting to improve a little bit in this drawing session. Like those actually look like shoes. They actually look like boots. I was surprised. I was like, wow, the most ugly shoes actually came out with the best drawing. And so, are these the best shoes that I drew? Yeah, I think so. I mean, those sandals up in the middle, and so in the second row, in the middle row, middle column or whatever, I think those also came out pretty good. I mean, the flower doesn't come out very good, but the shape of the shoes I think turned out pretty good too. So, and I didn't like those sandals either. So like maybe because I don't like the way the shoes look, I put less pressure on myself, and so the art flows a little bit better because I actually did kind of like the way these shoes looked. The one that I'm drawing right now, I was like, oh, these are kind of cute. And I fucked up the drawing for them. So I was like, maybe because I'm putting on myself under more pressure to draw the ones that I think are cute better, I'm choking and I'm fucking it up. So maybe I should only draw shoes I find ugly from now on. Or with colors that I find unappealing because like I said, that the greenish yellow of that shirt, not of the shirt, of those shoes I didn't really like. I mean, I know I said I have shirts in that color, but like I said, I didn't buy the shirts. I don't really mind them in on shirts, but I think it was a combination that was really disturbing me. But the shoes that I'm drawing right now, the reference I was looking at them, it was like this really cute, like periwinkle blue. So maybe I should just pick ugly colors from now on. And then I draw another pair of boots after this. This is not really a boot. This is more of like a loafer or like a Mary Jane type shoe, but with a really thick sole. The next shoe I draw is a boot. And I don't like the way the boot came out. It didn't come out very good, but I thought the boots were kind of cute because they had these little like heart shaped buckles type thing. Well, not buckles, but like accents, I guess. But they were made out of metal, so which makes me think that they were buckles, but they weren't buckling anything closed. But I thought they were cute, so the shoe didn't come out very good. And then I draw a sneaker after that. But I think you can see I become a little bit more confident. Like, you see, I made that line. I was like, whoosh. And I think I went in there a little bit too confident. And I kind of got lost in the sauce. But that's okay. You see, what part of the problem is, if you watch me draw these shoes, which I guess you would be doing since this is a video, I'm not drawing the shapes. I think I talked about this before that I don't draw the shapes when it comes to shoes. Usually when I draw bodies, I try to break it down into shapes. I don't really break it down into too many shapes because I kind of have it a little bit memorized by now, so I don't really have to do too many shapes sometimes. But sometimes I'm like, I'm really trying to get this pose down, so I need to really break it down into shapes. I don't know how to break shoes into shapes. I'm just copying the lines, which is okay since I'm just starting. So hopefully I'm trying to figure out the shape of shoes and the shape of feet because the shape of feet obviously informs the shape of shoes. But you know what is the problem with drawing shoes from reference? Is that mostly the shoes are from a side profile. So because they're trying to show off the shoes and what they look like, they're showing them from the side so you can get the most look at them appearance wise, right? Because if they're putting a shoe facing towards the camera, like a person standing straight, facing forward, obviously you're not going to see most of the shoe. You're not going to really know what the shoe looks like. I mean, you'll know what the shoe looks like, but the design of shoes is usually on the side or like on the top. So they need to make it in side profiles slightly from the top. And I think when you draw shoes, at least in my experience, since I mostly draw characters facing forward, you don't really see the side of the shoe too often. I mean, sometimes you do, sometimes with different poses you do, but for me, because I have very limited in my posing, you don't really see the side of the shoe. And so I'm like trying to find references for the front of the shoe, and I don't really have any. So I think I'm gonna have to start taking pictures of my own shoes just so I can know what the front of the shoe looks like because right now I'm kind of actually going in blind. And we're on to the final drawing of the final shoe. Oh, I hope you guys are not too upset that this video is coming to a close soon. But as you can see, I'm getting a little bit more confident. Look at how me swish that line. When I was actually first starting out, I was doing a little bit of that chicken scratching stuff. I don't want to get into a chicken scratching debate, but anyway, I'm actually making the lines a bit more confident now and just like swishing them out just because I'm all loosed up. I do think this drawing of the shoe actually comes out pretty good. It also looks like a shoe. So even in this drawing session, it's even though it's only been 20 minutes from the first shoe that I drew to the final shoe that I drew, I think there is some market improvement. And I'm actually really happy about that. So I'm getting better at drawing shoes, you guys. It's so exciting. And it's so exciting for me. If you guys want to tell me about some of your art journey, like you're trying to get better at drawing something specific and you actually made a breakthrough, I would love to hear about it because I'm really happy about mine. And so I'd love to share the happiness of yours with you guys. I just really think I'm learning, you guys, and it just makes me so happy. I just I really like to learn. I've always kind of liked to learn, but I didn't really haven't really been learning the last few years. After I got out of college, I kind of stopped learning. I mean, you never really stop learning, yada yada yada. You know what I mean? But learning in a way where I could see results, and I feel like I'm seeing results a little bit. It's making me kind of happy. I don't know, and I want to share in the happiness with you guys. Some people think it's cringe to be happy, but those people are fucking lame. Okay, it's good to be happy. I think everybody should be happy, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with being happy. People are like happiness is only for the short term, yada 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 yada. Whatever. Just let me be happy. You always gotta say something negative all the time, and I try not to do negative stuff anymore. I'm trying to have a positive life, be a positive influence. So let me revel in my happiness for 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're moving on to the coloring now. I just decided to color the shoes, and there was really no rhyme or reason to it. I just colored them in all willy nilly. I didn't plan out the colors or anything. I was just going with the vibe, going with the flow, coloring things in. I tried to follow a little bit of the pattern of the shoes, just a little bit, but I was like, I only have one color. I'm not gonna do any more hatching than I already did to develop patterns like on those cow fuzzy boots. Ugh. I was like, I'm not gonna do anything super complicated. I'm already done with these drawings. I'm kind of ready to finish the drawings at this point, even though it was only a 20-minute session. I did get I had some highs and lows. I was like, those shoes look good. Oh, those shoes look bad. Oh, those shoes look good again. So it's kind of like a little bit emotionally draining. So I was just trying to get it over with. You see me spending some time thinking. And usually I cut out the time I spend thinking out of videos just because I'm like, nobody wants to sit there and watch you do nothing for 10 minutes or however long. It's just sometimes I forget to move my hand out of the camera. So it's hard to cut that down because it looks weird. And so I'm like, maybe I'm just gonna cut it in a different way because I don't know why I forget to move my hand out of the camera. I just do. Anyway, sorry I only drew 10 drawings of shoes today. I was gonna do more, but I was like, nah. So I only did 10, and I know it looks weird because it's in like there's 3 sets of three, and then there's just one shoe all off by itself. So it does look a little bit weird. I am gonna go ahead and finish off this page with more shoes. Not on camera, not for you guys. Sorry, you're not gonna see me draw more shoes. Just know that I will be drawing more shoes in the future on my own. It's gonna be some of that art that I don't show anybody, and that's okay to do. So I'm just coloring up the rest of these shoes. I don't really have anything to say about them because it's just coloring. I pretty much just fill in everything and I just leave a couple of highlights so that they look shiny. The shoes that are supposed to look shiny, I made them shiny. This shoe was not supposed to be shiny. This shoe was like suede or something. I don't know. And then I colored in the little cow boot thingy. I didn't like it. I don't know. Maybe maybe I should have done this spread in green, and then those cow boots would have made a little bit more sense. I'm not gonna pop up the reference for you guys because I already said I was not gonna put any references up. But just know that those boots are like supremely ugly, you guys. In my opinion, okay. I know that beauty is subjective, and even ugliness is subjective. So in my opinion, I thought that they were ugly. Okay, but they made a pretty good drawing. So there's that. I need to start scripting at least the end of my videos because I always get to the end of the video and I have like 2 minutes left to talk about stuff and I never have anything to talk about. I just have to start rambling like I am doing right now just so I could fill time. I know I could just probably speed up parts of the video so that way it's like faster, and then when I run out of stuff I'll just speed it up and then I can upload that, but I think that's jarring. Like I don't want to speed up parts of the video when the rest of the video is in real time, and I really do like when the videos are in real time. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't like to watch real-time videos, but I do prefer to upload real-time videos just because it's easier for me. So maybe other artists do that too, just because it's easier for them. And so I do have, more goodwill to those guys. But yeah. Anyway, we're basically at the end of the video now. Thank you guys for spending this time with me. I'll go ahead and see you in tomorrow's video. It's another sketchbook tour. I'll see you next time. Bye.